This morning, we'll be discussing Chidimma Additional. For those of you that don't know who she is, she recently became Miss South Africa in South Africa.
Hi ma'am, before you talk a lot. You need to do verification on what is going on, not to speculate.
Africa, and there's been a controversy over her emergence as Miss South Africa. According to many of her critics, they're saying that her parents are illegal immigrants. Her father is Nigerian, her mother is Mozambican. So many South Africans are saying she doesn't deserve to be Miss South Africa. She's not one of us. And many have agreed, others have disagreed. What are your thoughts? You think the issue of xenophobia is gearing its head again against this girl who obviously made all the physical requirements to become Miss South Africa? You can join the conversation 081 0764 1679 09024163440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. So when we heard this story, we're all excited, happy for her, because obviously she's a Nigerian through and through, Chidimma Additional. Initially, I was like, how is that possible? But obviously, you understand that she's a mix of different cultures. But what are your thoughts when you heard this story? And because we've had a history of xenophobia in South Africa, where our brothers and sisters who live there have been threatened. Some have been killed just for being Nigerian. What are your thoughts?
Okay, let me correct you, lady. South Africans are not killing people. You are always the one who are bringing the card of xenophobic attack, while Nigerians who are living in South Africa are the drug dealers and the drug lord, and they sell drugs. Many Nigerians are suffering because of what your brothers are doing in South Africa, and then this is what we are fighting for. You don't know what you are talking about.
When you read the story, who would like to go first, Mariam?
Yes. So of course, when I heard it, I thought it was, I thought it was going to be fantastic news all around Africa. Like, oh, this is one of us. We're happy to see that we're being represented, and.
No, this is not the African thing. This is a South African beauty contest. This is Miss South African, not Nigerian, not African. It's South African. We are not representing anyone who's coming from Nigeria, who the lineage of Mozambique. We are not about that. We are about South Africans.
Being that South Africa is like rainbow nation, and in my understanding is that they're all welcome. You're from there, you have naturalized, you used to be a colonialist or whatever it is, white, black, whatever color you are, colored as they call them, you're all South African. And so with Chidimma, it came across as if the reason why she was being attacked was because of the Nigerian part of her blood. As we know, as you mentioned earlier, Mariah, there's always been that rivalry between South Africa and Nigerians, and as far as even xenophobic attacks.
No, wait a minute. We are not in a rival at any way with Nigeria. We are just South Africans, and we want to be left alone.
A part of me is also thinking, if they didn't think she was South African, why did they allow her, apply for this pageantry? Why did they allow her go through the process? I'm sure they must have asked her questions and everything. So, yes, by blood, I guess she's not South African, but her mom, who's Mozambican, is a naturalized South African.
No, ma'am. In South Africa, you don't just get naturalized just out of the space. There is a process that is happening that must be done in order for you to be naturalized. And South African government look for the benefit of the country. What are you bringing in the table so that we can naturalize you? We are not just naturalizing any person. A person can get a citizenship or a permanent resident. Permanent resident is something totally different to a citizenship.
I've heard other stories that they said the father is an illegal immigrant, that he wasn't meant to have lived there for as long as he's lived there. But this girl, that's the only life that she knows. So a part of me was like, they're just hating. But now I sit down here in Nigeria and I'm wondering if a South African girl were to win Miss Nigeria, how would we respond? Will we be more accommodating? And to be fair, I think we'll be more accommodating, especially if we feel that her roots have always been here. In fact, we'll carry her on the head more than anyone. That's our style, I believe. So, you know, it's interesting because the conversation is really, what people now start saying is, why is it that Black Africans, we seem to hate on each other more? You know, it is easier for South Africans to accept someone of, you know, white descent, who you would see clearly white, but she's South African. They praise Charlize Theron everywhere across the world, Elon Musk. All those people are South Africans. But for some reason, they are more South African than this Chidimma, Adesina, Nigerian, Mozambican, naturalized South Africa, you know?
I was told by the producers that she hasn't won the pageant yet. She's actually a finalist.
Okay.
So hopefully she wins objectively if indeed they don't consider all these factors. But what are your thoughts when you heard about this?
It's just so that they will make sure she doesn't win that we're having this conversation, because she trended over the weekend. You know the way South Africans are wired. No apologies. They have their history. They have their history. We see them now. All of us saw the xenophobic attack and how they wired black on black hate. It's something that they are known for, and I think their government should be deliberate about working against it. This is one of such cases where if she were to emerge, it would be a South African statement to the world about their new stand as regards black on black hate. You know, it's important that they start to put out that narrative, that people start to see them differently. You know, South Africa is known for tourism. They're known for when they promote the beauty of their nation, how they promote and say they're accommodating. But we know tourism, of course, is a revenue earner for them. And they shouldn't just promote that side of them, with, you know, speaking with two sides of the mouth. Sometimes when you put a national event out, it's your PR to the world. Imagine a chidimma, because they are having the conversation, so me too now. Imagine a Nigerian winning that event, that pageant, and how it will go around the world for the proper PR South Africa needs.
Maybe I've been living in a cave here in South Africa. I don't know what this lady is talking about. I don't know what this lady is talking about. She's talking about that South Africa is known for tourism. We are known for tourism. For really. Come on, man.
Right now. And I hope that the thinkers of the nation will see it that way. Any other way is just going to be endorsing the history, which I know and all of us have read and seen about South Africa. This is the time for South Africa to be deliberate about what they do. The organizers of that pageant, the government of that nation, this is the time. And this girl, boy, she's a beautiful girl.
Yes.
You know, she's a beautiful girl, and
she is.
She's gorgeous. Her mom is, you know, naturalized South African. I was just saying this morning.
I suspect you guys that you are smoking in this studio. The lady has never been naturalized. Do you know what does it mean to be naturalized in South Africa? It does not matter how long you have been in South Africa. As long as you are a foreigner, you are a foreigner. If a child is born in South Africa by a foreign parent, automatically that child is not South African, will obtain the status of their parents. You see, you need to know the South. We have laws. We have laws. There are rule of our laws. We are not just naturalizing. If you are born in South Africa and then you are a foreigner, it does not mean that you are South African. You have to be clear about that.
In myself, Amaka, Ada, and Ogali were speaking and using certain words in English and interpreting it in a different dialect. And we had about 10 words that had common sounds, from my Esako roots to the Igbo to the Urobo roots of Ogali. And we called numbers, words, bags, names, and they were all similar. And I was like, if only these white people did not interrupt us, by now we would have evolved to a common language and word. And that language will be able to take ownership of it. But that interruption of yes, it will be national. And that interruption cost us this, that we are now, everybody still defending, and from here, and from there, and from that, and from that. Trade, intermarriage, and all of that would have made us one. Eventually, would have, understood all the way to Ghana. Yeah, naturally. So we are one whether we like it or not as Africans. And because time has interrupted us, we must now deliberately push out that thing that will foster us. You see today, there's a page I follow online because these days to read news is a difficult thing. You don't want to be reading bad things every time. So I follow a marriage where...
Okay guys, let me just end it there because I'm having a headache for listening to these ladies. I'm gonna come up with another piece. Please make sure that you follow the page, this channel, and you subscribe. Thank you very much.